Design Award for doing this. Okay, as in the early days of the accident, there were many grassroots efforts. Already on March 15th or so, 16th or so, Dr. Ichimiya of KEK, that's National High Energy Physics Lab, set up this portal site where he collected all the useful links to the available data, either government or the NGOs, NPO data of the radiation. And one of the most spectacular was this site, which was made by an anonymous individual at NI star, who manually entered the radiation measurements done by the government or individuals or NGOs. More than 100,000 data points exist on this map. And if you zoom in, this is close to Korean Station. This is the density of the measurement that he entered manually. And this was very useful for a cross-check to government measurement and NGO measurements and so on. So this was very, very useful. And this was a very popular site. Okay, the government measured lots of food every day, and the Ministry of Health collected the data measured throughout Japan and published every day a table like this in PDF. Sometimes contain typos, and PDF tables were not readily useful for analyzing the statistics. So a volunteer, a professor, and sometimes the PDF was just a scanned PDF. And so a volunteer, a professor Okumura of Mie University, every day he converted the PDF into CSV, sometimes correcting the typos himself, and then made this searchable database. And this was done, and this was continued for about 2 years, and it was very useful. And this is now taken up by a National Institute of Public Health. The food tested database is now outsourced by the ministry to the National Institute of Public Health. Well, the data dissemination by the government, of course, there were lots to be desired. But after some 4 years, that's getting better. For instance, this is a web page from Fisheries Agency, and that now shows graphs, not just numbers, and that's very informative. For instance, this green curve shows the percentage of fish that they measure. They measure about 1,000 fish off the coast of Fukushima Dai-ichi every month. And then the percentage which exceeded this 100 becquerel per kilogram limit, that was more than 50% just after the accident. But as of the end of last year, it went down to 0.4%. So the fishes along the coast of Fukushima Dai-ichi are actually getting very clean as compared to about 4 years ago. And this is maintained by Fukushima local government, and this site was launched recently. This is a portal site covering various measurements and so on. And what's important is that this is now multilingual. Okay, as you can see, there's English, Chinese, Korean, Dutch, French, Spanish, and Portuguese. And this is done by machine translation. The quality of the translation is rather good, acceptable. And so after nearly 4 years, finally, such web pages have become available. And this is a real-time and clickable radiation monitor map. You can zoom in and click, and you can read the radiation level and also get a graph. And this is a searchable rice test database, which was opened in 2012, available also in English. Let me show you how the rice measurements are done in Fukushima. Well, Fukushima Prefecture produces more than 10 million rice bags, and each bag contains 30 kilograms of rice. And since 2012, Fukushima Prefecture have been measuring every one of them, so 10 million measurements per year. And this is how it is done. In 2012, out of 10 million, 71 exceeded this 100 becquerel per kilogram limit. That number went down to 28 in 2013, and last year it was 0. So that's a remarkable achievement. That's the cooperation of farmers and the scientists and so on. Okay, on the internet, rumors rapidly spread. People on the cyberspace become split. One camp says that it is so dangerous in Fukushima so that people shouldn't stay in Fukushima, should evacuate. There are people who say this as of today, but there are other camps who say that it is safe enough in Fukushima. The fight continues and still continuing, and that's very, very not so productive. But there are some people who wisely use the internet and then applied the knowledge that they gained to the real-time situation. And let me just give you just one example. This is a document, not easy to read document, called ICRP 111, that is published by the International Commission on Radiological Protection. And this document is important for Fukushima because this was written based on the Chernobyl accident. So this tells you how it is important to protect the people living in long-term, contaminated area. So people noticed about this. This is not the professionals. They are just ordinary people found this document. And then over the internet, mainly on Twitter, they translated and then also did a dialogue on Twitter to better understand this document. And finally, that they published this book on the internet as a free EPUB document. And what's important is that they didn't stop here. They actually learned from this book and applied the knowledge to the real-time situation. They went to the affected area, and then, these people, and then for over the past more than 3 years, they have been collaborating with the local people with the food measurement and individual external and internal dose measurement and communicating to them. And these efforts continue on as of today. So summarizing, number one, no electricity, no internet. So that's number one. The communication skills, well, so the so-called risk communication skills, of the government mostly, need to be improved. Well, the IT skills are important, but it is not just the IT skills, but the basic concept of how to communicate to people. That was totally lacking in the early phase of the accident, and they are still not doing such a good job as of today. Well, the use of big data versus privacy is an issue. I just gave one example, but there are many other examples which made the clever use of the big data, a good use of the big data, difficult, because if you measure a person's dose, external or internal, then due to the Privacy Act, it is very difficult to combine and analyze and disseminate the data. So that is something that we still have to work on. Well, social media turns out to be rather useful to some extent to reach people, but real power is in learning from the society and to get people connected. So, and after some 4 years, psychosocial facets are important, and internet technology alone cannot save people, but the clever use of the internet is very helpful. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Hayano. Are there any questions? Thank you very much.
Good.
So please remain on the stage.
Okay.
And would you, Suresh, would you mind to come up to the stage, please? Thank you.
Where?
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
That's my pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you very much, Professor Hayano. So now, would you please remain on the stage? So now, Apan Chair Suresh Ramadass to provide a few words in closing. Suresh, please.
Okay. Thank you. And in closing, I'd just like to say a few words about APAN. And there's always a question. Again, who is APAN? What are we? What is our identity? And what are we doing? APAN is a collection of researchers, scientists, and academics from around the Asia-Pacific region. We meet twice a year. We get together in different working groups. We present our ideas within those working groups, and we talk about research collaboration within those working groups based on the A and N in APAN. APAN. AN is advanced networks. So our research collaboration must run on those advanced networks. And APAN today is 20 years old, I think, Goto-sensei? I think some of you will know. It's 20 years old. 20 years ago, about 20 people sat down and said, let's get together, create this group. 20 years later, there's over 400 members. When I say members, I mean active members who come to meetings, probably over 2,000 general members who now form APAN. That's the beauty of APAN. APAN has no commitment requirements directly from its members. Our commitment is come, work together, enjoy yourself. Build new things, build the future, build it on advanced networks. And as you can see today, the internet has changed the world. Think of the world 20 years ago. Think of the world 10 years ago. Think of the world today. The internet has changed it. Advanced internet, advanced networks will change it even more. We are the founding people with the technology, which 10 years later then gets rolled out. And then, of course, when industry takes it, they enhance it, they make it so much stronger. 20 years later, we see them presenting it at APRICOT. But that's what we thought 20 years ago. In our minds, in our labs, we were creating. The founders of APAN were, I would say, the fathers of Internet for Asia. These were the same people who moved the idea of Internet for Asia. And another beauty of APAN, it is like no other RAN grouping organization in the world. And this is, again, coming from some of our founding fathers. I see Kilnam sitting there. I don't know if he's sleeping or he's awake. Okay, he's awake. You know, he said, we don't want governments involved in APAN. We want APAN to be neutral. APAN must be very, very neutral. I had my arguments with him, but that's fine. We love to argue. Today, APAN is not owned by anyone. APAN is owned by the member countries. We are not owned by any government. We are not owned by any organization. We are not owned by any privately funded body. We are APAN. we meet, and we discuss what we want to do together. Our funding comes from memberships from these countries. APAN is now 20 years old. APAN will be here 20 years from now. And APAN will be stronger than ever. If you take a look at the membership, in another 10 to 20 years from now, we'll be about 1,600 to 2,000 members attending meetings. That's APAN. Because the universities are increasing, academics are increasing, research is increasing, and research on the internet is increasing. And people want advanced networks, advanced internet technologies. This is the seeding ground. APAN is the nurturing seeding ground for such technologies. And APAN is now re-engineering ourselves as well to provide even more focus on our research groups. And we've just recently had a series of meetings at this meeting, which is now changing the focus slightly. I would not say changing the focus, I will say converging the focus to give a stronger push to what we call the pillars within APAN, our working groups, our research groups, right? Which is powered by the underlying advanced networks that they have built. So both is important. And the last and final most important thing I again like to remind you all is, you are APAN. So without you, APAN doesn't exist. APAN is the people in APAN. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Suresh. So next we invite APNIC EC Chair Akinori Maemura to the stage.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Akinori Maemura, Chair of the APNIC Executive Council. As Suresh said, I should remind you, you are the APNIC. That's a very important thing. I had really fantastic presentation from the Professor Hayano. That it is really rare opportunity, precious opportunity to have the something different from the networking. But his presentation was really suggestive how internet or ICT should be used in serious and complicated issues. Then internet is nothing for itself, but something for our life and our, way of living or something like that. I'm really delighted to have you, all of you, here in Fukuoka. And then restoration, number of the restoration exceeded 1,000. Such a big number get together. Those who are regular participants in APRICOT and those who are regular participants for the APAN got together. That's a really fantastic thing. And then I was really happy to see a lot of friends from the APAN side who, this is a really good opportunity for me to meet that kind of very old and good friends. And it is really busy week. APAN and APRICOT both sessions parallelly proceeded. Then it is very, very hard to find which is the most interesting session for you to look. But it is really great to have the quite substantial number of the interesting content from the various sessions. In terms of the APNIC, we have today we have the policy SIG, where the APNIC committee discuss the main business of APNIC, which is how to distribute or manage the IP addresses. And then in the other day, we had quite the good discussion for the Hayano stewardship, which is our quite important topic these days. And then we had newly established cooperation SIG, where the quite important people got together on the panel and then exchange various topics on internet governance and some other topic. This is a closing plenary, so it is the meaning is that now APRICOT is closing. But please don't forget we have the one other day on Friday where we will have the APNIC annual general meeting, which is your APNIC's main job to observe how the APNIC Secretariat operated and the current snapshot of the APNIC's business. So, and it is good news for you that APNIC general meeting is open to public. So even if you are not the member, it is quite welcome for you to come. I'm really happy to have you here. Actually, the preparation process is we had 2 or 3 years, and then in the previous occasion, sorry about that. Previous occasion, I said to as the promotive word, kinshai, which is the Fukuokan dialect of Japanese, meaning please do come, kinshai. Then I should refrain this word, but in this occasion, mata kinshai, please do come again. Mata kinshai to Fukuoka. We welcome you to Fukuoka. I think I'm really sure that all of you enjoy Fukuoka, and then very good food and quite Japanese culture, and I'm really happy to have you here again, for sightseeing and bring you your family. Please do come, mata kinshai to Fukuoka. All right. I'm really happy if you stay here on Friday to participate in the APNIC meeting, APNIC member meeting tomorrow. But if it is not the case, next occasion for you to get together is Jakarta in September in APNIC 40. And then okay, I forgot one thing. This is the second APRICOT Apan joint after the first one, 2011 in Hong Kong. This is we had the first joint board meeting among the APNIC, APA, and Apan this time, and then. I think it is good. I got the permission from the all boards that three board have agreed the general idea that we will have the joint again. So that's actually not really easy thing, but need a lot of coordination. But we will definitely have the next APRICOT APAN someday in the future. So thank you very much. Please come to the APNIC general meeting on Friday, and then if not in Jakarta, and then mata kinshai to Fukuoka. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Akinori. Finally, closing words from APIA Chair Philip Smith.
I think we should have planned the speakers in some order of height or something, so the assistant here doesn't have to come running in and out all the time. All right, good afternoon, everyone. So my turn to say a few words, and I mean, my task very much this afternoon is to give a vote of thanks. Really, I mean, I'm looking at here the list to thank. It's quite a long list of folks who've worked very, very hard to make this event happen. I suppose I should start at the top. No, but with these events, I mean, as Akinori was just mentioning, there's actually a lot of effort that goes in behind the scenes to have basically 3 conferences taking place in the same venue and at the same time. You know, while APRICOT is a major summit involving several AP organizations, including APNIC. APNIC is a major partner in APRICOT. Having Apan join us just adds a little bit more of coordination work between basically the APRICOT, the ongoing APRICOT organization, and Apan itself. So I would start with like to express my thanks to the APRICOT Management Committee, which of course is not just made up of the long-standing APRICOT supporters, but also we had several of the team from Apan join that committee. They've been working, probably since April, May last, maybe April, May last year to do the initial planning for this event. I mean, in fact, some of us visited Fukuoka this time last year to get a taste of this wonderful city and have a look at some of the venues and so forth. So the management committee has been working really from April, May time all the way through to now to bring the event here. Conference, of course, needs a program. Apan has assembled its program. On the APRICOT side, we have assembled the technical program, the technical operation program. Would like to thank the program committee for their work, their efforts. Program committee started work in about October with the call for papers, and really the most intense time for them was through December, January, and even into early last month. It's a conference organizer's nightmare. Conference organizers would love to have the program ready 6 months in advance so it can be fully publicized and all the rest. But the latest, greatest operational content, the day, the big thing of the day happens the day before the conference starts. So the program committee and even the program chairs have a big problem trying to balance those two almost conflicting desires. So we hope that you've enjoyed the program that has been assembled for you this week. Fellowship Committee, APRICOT has a fellowship program. We supported about around a dozen fellows to come here to enjoy the conference. In fact, most of the fellows came last week for the workshops, but we have a few here this week as well attending the conference. These are aimed at folks from the least developing countries who ordinarily would find it very, very difficult financially to attend the event. And so the fellowship program is there to assist their participation. We actually also had 2 fellows from the Abba Huja Memorial Foundation. These 2 fellows come from Africa. The 2 female network engineers came from Africa. They joined us last week for the workshop, and I believe one of them is still here this week to enjoy the conference as well. So we're delighted to support their participation. So the leaders of those 3 committees, Molly Chim has led the management committee, Dean Pemberton, Ralph Ho and Mark Tinker led the program committee, and Jan Zhang led the fellowship committee. All those individuals worked hard to ensure that we have the content that we have here. I really must thank Scott and all the team at Eastside. You never really see them on stages or in the front of folks, but they've been working very, very tirelessly every single day. I mean, every single day I've come in, Scott's already been here. When I've gone home in the evening, Scott is still here. So I assume he actually got some sleep for the last 2 weeks, likewise with his colleagues. So appreciative thanks to the whole Eastside team for everything they've done. Another wonderful show from them. Really must thank the APNIC Secretariat, the APNIC staff. As some of you will know, the APIA function, the Secretariat function, and the organization of APRICOT is done for us by APNIC staff. A lot of APNIC staff here this week who have been assisting with the organization of the event. Again, looking after the webcast, the team sitting in the corner there as well as assisting behind the scenes. So very appreciative thanks to APNIC and APNIC staff for everything that they have done. Next up, another group of volunteers you don't really see much of. Mind you, normally you don't see much of them, but I think they're a bit more clever this time. Maz is sitting there. He led the technical committee, all wearing red shirts. So a lot of the red, yeah, can we get some of those? Those are really nice. But, you know, all wearing the red shirts. So the technical committee who've taken care of making sure the infrastructure has worked here, as well as volunteering to help with registration count and everything else. The technical committee have made sure that the network infrastructure works, and it has worked most of the time. Although, I mean, discussing with Maz at lunchtime today, I think we've got a deja vu of the workshops in Hong Kong. Not a great idea to have a conference beside a harbor. There seems to be a lot of RF interference coming from somewhere that we really don't know. So as long as we're away from the windows at that side of the convention center, we seem to have okay with the wireless. Not quite sure what's going on there. We had the same issue in 2011 when the workshops took place next to Aberdeen, the port in Hong Kong. But yes, thank you to the technical committee. They did present on the network during the lightning talks this morning, so if you weren't there and you're curious about the challenges and pleasures they had, have a look at the lightning talk slides. Would like to thank all the instructors for the workshops last week. Most have gone home. Some are still here to enjoy the conference this week. They've given of their time and talents to train the participants who came to the workshops. Workshops were held at the JR Hakata station. First time we've ever done workshops in a railway station, so it was always something different. I'd like to thank the speakers for the conference this week, so all parts of it, whether it's APRICOT portion, or the Apan portion, or any of the side meetings and other events that have happened here during the conference week, again, for contributing the knowledge to the greater community. Thank you, all the participants, for coming. We actually have 818 people through the doors. That's an impressive number, however we measure it. We're very happy to see that. As Akinori said, there are over 1,000 registrations. We've had on average about 100, 150 participants watching online. We can't physically tell where they are, but I assume it's not you sitting in the audience watching the proceedings, but actually you are somewhere else. So again, we very greatly appreciate you tuning in to watch the conference, either on Adobe Connect or on YouTube. While we're looking at the numbers, 77 workshop attendees, 54 economies represented. The biggest economy represented was Japan, 285 participants. So we follow the regular rule of around about 200 to 300 participants coming from the local economy, which is great to see. Also, these events would not be possible without our sponsors. I timed it badly. Okay, the slide will eventually show all our sponsors. Right, so there they are. I am not going to read them all out. I would be here for another 5 minutes, but I really would like to highlight our platinum sponsors. The platinum sponsors give quite substantially to ensure the success of this event and that we can actually pay our bills. So really would like to acknowledge IIJ, JPNAP, JPIX, Microsoft, NTT Communications, and SoftBank for the sponsorship of this event. Next year's host would be delighted to hear from you, I'm sure. But anyway, so thank you very much to the sponsors. Otherwise, we have the social event this evening. Please do enjoy that. As Akinori said, there is the APNIC AGM tomorrow, which you're very welcome to attend. Otherwise, thank you all for participating in this APRICOT. Great to see you, and have a safe trip home. Thank you.
Thank you, Philip. Would you mind to remain on the stage, please? So at this point, I would like to invite representative of our platinum sponsors to the stage. The support of IIJ, JPIX, JPNUP, Microsoft, NTT Communications, SoftBank, and all of our close to 60 sponsor organizations has been essential in the organization and operation of the joint conference. We thank all of our sponsors for their strong support. So now Philip will present a memento to our platinum sponsors and thanks. IIJ, please come up to the stage. JPIX, please come up to the stage. Thank you. Thank you. JPNUP, please come up to the stage. Microsoft. NTT Communications. And SoftBank. So please remain on the stage for a photograph together. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, but Philip, would you mind to come up to the stage again? I'm sorry, you have one more job to do. Thank you. So I'd like to invite Ryoichi Hosoya as a representative of the host committee to return to the stage to receive a memento and thanks. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So our thoughts now turn to next year. I'd like to invite Jordan Carter, Chief Executive of Internet NZ, to tell us about APRICOT 2016. Thank you.
Right. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today after a great couple of weeks here at APRICOT 2015 in Fukuoka. My job is very simple, with a presentation hopefully on the way. I don't have to give you any content, I just get to show you a cat video. No, an Auckland video. But before that, a couple of slides. While the slides are coming, Internet NZ is delighted to be hosting you in Auckland next year. There we go, APRICOT 2016 in Auckland, 16th to 26th of February. Hosted by Internet New Zealand. But I can't make the slide change. There we go. Internet NZ is the country code manager for the .nz domain name, but we're an NGO as well with a bigger mission, which is, or a vision of a better world through a better internet. And hosting the APRICOT crowd in Auckland is a critical way that we can draw on your talents and experiences, share your experiences with the local internet community in New Zealand to give us a better internet and to hopefully give you a chance to enjoy our hospitality in our country. It's a pretty simple schedule, 16th to 26th of February. We're in downtown Auckland. All of the venues are close to each other. By way of reference, the walk between the workshop venue and the conference venue is about half the walk from here to the Hotel Okura, so it's all nice and close. There are direct flights for you to get to Auckland from many hubs in East and Southeast Asia, so it's relatively simple to come to. And you've all heard, I think, of New Zealand. It's a great place to take a break, so make sure that you think about bringing your family, stay a few days afterwards, come a few days early, or do both, and enjoy our hospitality. And just to taunt you, we have a very short video that looks at Auckland. Hopefully we have video. There we go. There we go. And so I hope the question that leaves you asking is, which one's the venue? And to find out, you'll have to come along. So thank you again. Thank you for the right to host APRICOT 2016. We'll see you in Auckland next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan. So all that is left for me to thank you, delegates, for attending, supporting, and participating APRICOT Apan 2015. You are the reason this meeting is success year after year. At 7 p.m., the closing social will take place at Hotel Okura, and I hope very much you will all have a chance to celebrate the end of the conference and enjoy each other's company. For those of you who are leaving directly to the closing social from the venue, buses will be leaving from the front entrance at 6:30. Thank you very much, and see you later. Thank you.